What's up guys, Tom from Horizon Hobby and Spektrum RC here. Today I wanted to give you a quick tutorial on how to install the speedometer on the DX2E Active that comes with the Tenacity SCT from Losi. It's got this awesome feature with this, so we're just going to quickly walk you through it. So the parts involved with this are the TM1500, this little guy here, and the SPMA 9560 sensor. This is the same RPM sensor that we've normally had, but it has two little bullet connectors on it. I'll show you what those are for. So if you've gotten one of these trucks, you'll look at the manual and you'll see there's a couple of extra items. It comes with these bullet connectors right here, and these bullet connectors have a extra little bullet connector soldered to the connector. This makes installing this sensor extra easy. So we'll show you how to do that. And then it also comes with an antenna tube, not really related to what the subject of this video is, but I feel it's important to cover, so we'll go ahead and show you what that's for. And then we've got a connector. And really the only tools we're going to need are some wire cutters and a Phillips screwdriver, and you'll see what those are for. Alright, so let's first install the speedometer onto our DX2E Active. It's got this little plate here. You see that? It's got a little slot in it. Usually it takes a fingernail or something to knock it out. Pro tip here. Take an X-Acto knife, if you can't get it out with your fingernail, and go into this little slot, kind of just wiggle it out. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And there we go. The next thing we need to do is take this screw out. Right there. You see it on the side. We take that out. Alright, so we got that screw out. It's probably the longest one that's in there. Put it on the side because we're going to use her again once we mount this on there. So we mount it on, and we see another hole right there. Put our screw back through that hole. And we screw it in. Just get it in there till it's snug. We're done with the radio. We're setting her to the side. You might want to hang on to that. So we're going to go ahead and install the sensor, the TM1500 telemetry receiver, and I'll show you what these are for. Pull our Tenacity in. Here she is. Oh, it's so pretty. Love this truck. Alright, so bullet connectors. They're going to go in between the motor wires. There are 3 motor wires. We're only going to use 2. So go ahead and unplug 2 of them. Take the corresponding color, plug it in there, feed it back through this loop, and plug in the bullet connector. Got that? Same thing. Get it through there. Plug in the yellow. That's that. Okay, so then the TM1500, we're going to mount inside the chassis. Try to avoid the drive shaft here, any kind of wires and moving parts. So first thing we do is we open up the receiver box, like that. Pop her open, and we've got our SRS 6000 receiver. We have a connector that comes with the TM1500. It has this tinier, smaller 3-pin connector and then our servo connector. We're going to plug it into the bind port, or bind battery, the top one here. And we're going to make it so the negative, the black wire, is on the outside, towards the back of the truck. Then the other end, we're going to we want to fish it through this hole down here so we're not pinching it. So if you see where these other wires are going, we're going to try to get that one into the same area. So I have gotten that wire through that porthole on the side of the receiver box out through this hole down there. So it took a little bit of doing, but if you have a pair of tweezers, that seemed to help. All right, so on to that antenna tube. So the antenna, when you get this, is going to be laid down right here. Not the best spot. It's not really intended to be there. That's why it comes with this antenna tube. You put the antenna through the tube, and then you route the antenna through this little hole right here. You can see that little hole there. That's where the antenna will pop out through with the receiver box. So kind of guide it through this little ledge or cavity there and push it in. There's also going to be a set screw. I'm not using it, but if anybody ever used an antenna tube, there's a little set screw, a little grub screw that goes through there and it tightens it down. So really just pushing it in there usually holds it pretty good, but that grub screw backs up against that so that it's well in place. So we'll leave this open, but once you're done, you're gonna fold all these wires back in here and put that in there, making sure that your antenna or any other wires aren't caught in the ledge. Because if you do and you pinch it, you might have a short. It's no good. We are going to mount our TM1500 in the chassis, and we're going to plug in this guy into the input. That one right there. It says input, and it's keyed, so you shouldn't have a problem getting it in there. Kind of look at how the key is positioned. But let's kind of think of where we're going to put it so that it's not rubbing up against anything. I like that right there. Now this antenna, I mean, it's not for transmitting radio control, it's for transmitting telemetry data. So it's not, it's not going to cause it to have any problems if you have it, but optimally you would have it pointed up as well. All right, so once we get plugged in, we grab some double-sided tape, pop her open, tape it on the back, make sure we got a clean spot to stick it down, and it's on. All right, good to go. So next spot, we install this sensor. The RPM sensor goes into the RPM port, and we plug either of the two into either of the bullet connectors that we installed moments ago. Doesn't have to go in all the way, just so that it's in there and making contact. No current really going through here, so not a big deal. And you don't want them shorting out against each other, of course. But we'll get them in there, like so. Like that. And then, pretty much done. We'll just zip tie this to the wires to keep it from rubbing against anything. Okay, so it's clean there, it's not rattling around. We'll clip that. And then if you want to be a little more cautious, which I should be, you can kind of loop this over here so that it's not falling out of the chassis. And that's about it. So for the speedometer, all you need is this RPM sensor and the TM1500 receiver, and of course the speedometer. I'll go ahead and show you guys how this works. So on the TM1500, there is a button. It is a bind button. Makes it easy to go ahead and bind this car up. So plug her on in, you'll hold the button, turn it on. Kind of the same thing, hold the button, turn on the radio, it'll blink. And then with ABC receivers, we go full throttle, full reverse, full right, full left. That is a calibration. So now she's ready to go, like that. Okay, so just kind of a quick overview of how the speedometer works. We got dashes now. When we hit the throttle, we got speed. Love it. And then this button here. You tap it or hold it, it'll tell you what your top speed was achieved during that run. So when we power cycle the radio, that'll reset. But let's say you're doing a speed run, hold that button, it'll tell you what it is. So this speedometer comes preset for the Tenacity out of the box. If you take it out, the speedometer, the receiver, and all that, and try to put it in something else, you have to change a couple settings. So we're going to have another video on that, but since this is exclusive to this, have fun. Hope you guys enjoyed watching my quick tutorial on how to install the speedometer on the DX2E for the Losi Tenacity. The next video will be how to use the dashboard app. So stay tuned.